What is up, guys? Even here from Rev Airsoft PH, and I have Adam behind the camera.
What is up, guys?
And it's been a while since the last video, approximately 1 or 2 months. That was the Golden Eagle GBBR. And fortunately, due to some circumstances with Adam's life and of course my personal life, we weren't able to shoot a lot of videos, right? But right now, we actually have a new, not new, no, it's really maybe 1 year old with me. I haven't been using it a while. 1 year old, maybe around 1 year old.
Going 1 year old.
Going 1 year old, right? And I haven't been using it. Really, I haven't been fielding it, right? It's the Cyber Gun or VFC m733. So a brief history on the m733, as we can read on, actually it's VFC site as well, right? The Colt Commando series first appeared on the Car 15 submachine gun and XM177 series in the 1960s. In 1984, Colt developed a series of new short-barreled commando submachine guns based on the M60A1, and the M733 was one of them. So, this version actually uses the 11.5 barrel, but the M733 uses the M16A2 flash suppressor and of course the fixed carry handle receiver, right? So we can get into that right now. So let's unbox this. Anyways, going now on the unboxing, right? So you have a blue box. Mine is tattered and beaten because it has been living off the shelf for 1 year. I've been placing things on top of it. I haven't been using it. Again, it's really in storage. So you have Colt logos there. You have the Cybergun logo here. Of course, you have the typical warning boxes, warning labels on the boxes, right? It's a nice overall package when it comes shipped to you. It was really better looking when it first arrived to me. So, there's a disclaimer. Again, we got this with our own hard-earned cash, right? It's not a sponsored video. I bought this because I love the M733. And I bought this because by accident, I bought an A2 receiver from VFC. I was hoping that it would fit in my other build, GNP receiver, the GNP receiver carbine, right? And I was hoping to build an M733 or a XM177 from that, but unfortunately, it didn't fit. The VFC was a bit longer. The GNP lower receiver was a bit shorter. Thankfully, Man Cave Industries actually offered to ship for me to ship that back and just get a whole new rifle from them, right? And that's the story on why I got a whole VFC M733, even though I'm avoiding new platforms altogether. But again, let's go down with the unboxing, right? So let's just open this box. Again, I've used this several times, but this is relatively how it would look like when you first unbox it. So you have the rifle, or not the rifle, but the toy or the replica, covered in plastic. You would have a box with the magazine inside of it, right? And it has a Velcro tab here that you would, right? Let's pick this up and put the replica on the side. And what's included in the box? Of course, you have your speed loader. You have actually the adapter for the speed loader, and you have your manual. No, I didn't open my manual. I didn't open my speed loader because Ryan or Adam has a speed loader, and I just borrowed his. Of course, you have the magazine as well. And let's put the box on the side. There's nothing to. I believe there's nothing else in the box other than the replica, the BB loader, the adapter, and your magazine. So the magazine is again, this is how you would unbox this as well. So you have that box, you have the plastic, and you have the magazine. So it's the gray version 3 magazines. So let's talk about the magazines first before we go to the replica itself. So Adam has his SR16E3 magazine. It's the same version as this one. And what I like about it is they're not really, I'm not sure if they're bomb proof. I've only had mine for, again, it's going on 1 year, maybe next October, right? But the magazine is relatively leak free. Um, fingers crossed. But yeah, I haven't had mine leak on me yet. Um, so far, bolt lock, BB feeding, I haven't been experiencing any feeding issues. Um, eh, Relatively a great mag overall. So if you are going to get a VFC pattern AR, do go for the V3 magazines. I have short magazines. Maybe later we'll get one. I have a short 20 rounder magazine. They're also great. They're not leaky as well. And I guess the only issue that we ran into the version 3 magazine was we were able to break one of the tabs at the bottom. So Adam's magazine, actually the tab at the bottom broke, but that's more likely because we dropped the magazine rather than being an issue of the mag itself. Again, great magazine, leak free. Go for these instead of the version 2 black ones. So those, we Adam has 4 of them and all of them leak. 6 ba? Okay, he has 6 of them, and he actually got new gaskets from VFC, and we're going to see if that would fix them. What actually leaks is the bottom part of the magazine. So when you take this out, you'll actually see a square or rather a rectangle gasket there, and that's the part that usually leaks. Unfortunately for Adam's version 2 magazines, they were already beaten and tattered to the point that they were not able to seal any gas inside. So yeah, again, version 3 magazines from VFC, even the short ones, they're relatively good. So let's go to the replica itself, right? So yeah, so just a brief background on why I love the M733. So before I started really playing airsoft, I got a JG or Jingong M733 plastic AEG as my first ever rifle replica, right? And I love that thing. I used to play with it um, a lot. But unfortunately, that replica broke down. I think I sold it off cheap because there were so many things broken with it. Again, it was breaking because it was made of some stuff was made out of pot metal. But yeah, and it's really nostalgic for me to own another M733. And another thing why I like the M733 is because of the movie Black Hawk Down. Black Hawk Down, and well, it was, if you go for historical accuracy, I think the M733 in that specific time period was wrong. But again, I like the setup. I even have a in-point comp 2 right here on a rail mount just to replicate that setup, right? But another movie that's really inspired me to get an M733 was Heat. So, and I think it was Robert De Niro, di ba? Si Val Kilmer, Robert De Niro. Yeah, and that iconic reload scene when he was shooting up the police. Anyways, that's why I like the M733 because of its movie heritage. Okay, so going from tip to butt. So the tip is in A1 birdcage flash hider. So there's no grub screw there to lock it in. You have that crush washer, and yeah, it's the pencil type barrel, which is a bit thinner than your regular AR-15 or modern M4 barrels, with the which is larger in diameter. And you have a triangle sight, which is a common feature of the older AR-15 based rifles, right? What's unique about this is if you have an M4, you usually see a bayonet lug there, but for this one, there's no bayonet lug, and actually you have a sling attachment there. So nothing else to talk about in the front part of the replica, right? You have a plastic handguard, which is thinner than your M4 plastic handguard, right? So the M733, XM177 would share the same smaller plastic handguard. What do I like about the handguard? So plastic handguard seems to be good enough quality plastic. And if you actually try to take it down, just kind of difficult, but we'll try to get it off on camera. It even has shields on the inside, right? So kudos to VFC for creating really realistic replicas. Okay, so while that's taken off, right? So again, you have that barrel. You have your hop-up adjustment here. So that hop-up adjustment, we'll talk about the performance later, but it's easy to adjust. Just have to turn it to the maybe clockwise, to clockwise for more hop and counterclockwise for less hop. But that said, right, you even have symbols to tell you or to show you what side would add or decrease your hop up. Okay. The only annoying thing, I guess, for the front end of the replica is that very strong spring for that delta ring. Okay, so got that back. So moving downwards. Okay, so we have that iconic fixed carry handle. So it's an A2, if I'm not mistaken, it's an A2 receiver. And yeah, even the markings at the bottom, or the other side rather, it's a called A2 or M16 A2 receiver. Yeah. So let's go to controls. Or we want to talk about the quality of the receiver. Okay, so let's talk about the quality of the finish of the receiver. It's okay. It's not the best out there, I guess. So it scratches on some parts easily, like where I put the aim point or the carry handle rail mount on top. Some some BB hits on this would have its own marks here at the back. So while it's not the best finish out there, I think it's okay. It's durable. You get what you pay for. This is it. Actually, at the bottom end of the price list for VFC on their lineup. On the subject of the controls, again, it's a standard AR-15 affair. So you have your bolt catch. You have your selector switch, non-ambi, of course. No ambi at the time for Colt, I guess. Of course, you have the magazine release button. So again, this is on the lower price bracket of the VFC AR-15 platform, and of course they have to cut cost somehow, right? So your um, mag catch is not steel. You have your bolt catch, which is steel, and you have again the other side of the mag catch is not steel, and your selector is not steel. But what's really surprising is that even your trigger is not steel, and that's actually quite sad because the trigger again, if you would see or if you'd look how this functions, is the trigger sear would actually stop the hammer right from falling down, and once that wears out, you'd see in Quad's video that you would have a sticky trigger wherein you would have to push this manually forward. So I guess they could have cut down cost on some of the other items, but I wish they would have retained the trigger to be steel. But again, you get what you pay for, and there are upgrade triggers anyways, so you can just purchase that and upgrade your trigger and be happy, right? Okay, moving backward, you have your, of course, non-ambi charging handle, which is again the standard M4 AR-15 charging handle. Really boring. You have a R15 stock or an XM177 stock. On the VFC XM177, I believe that is an aluminum butt stock, but for the M733, fortunately, this one is plastic. So the castle nut, right? For the is steel. The end plate also is steel, and I guess that's it. It's a really simple. It's a really simple rifle, right? Or again, in the replica. There's not much to talk about it. It's really all a standard AR-15 affair. And if we do go take a look at the internals, this is a V3 VFC. Um, V3 VFC lower as well. So for the bolt carrier, it's a V3 bolt carrier. Unfortunately, no end pass. So yeah, that's a bummer. But who would need an end pass, right? And that's a joke. So of course you'd want an end pass for that adjustability. But again, this model doesn't have it. So it's your standard VFC M4 bolt carrier. Nothing special here. So there's no issues here. And you have again your standard charging handle as well. So let me put this back in. Okay, and let's take out the let's take out the upper receiver so we can actually showcase more of the lower parts. I might need a tool. Where's the okay. That detent on the front pin is really stiff. Okay, anyways. So once you got that down, you can separate it, right? Oh, I have this split down, right? I forgot to talk about something in the controls, right? The forward assist is actually steel, and while it doesn't really function, so again, if I push that back, you won't see the bolt carrier moving forward, so it doesn't really function. But it is steel, and I'm not sure why VFC chose to have the larger circle larger circle forward assist, right, rather than the teardrop shaped one, which I believe is a more accurate depiction of the M733. And I forgot to talk about the sights, but I'll have a segment later. We'll attach this, right, and everything. But you have a not really adjustable sight, right, but you have some adjustment when it comes to windage, but not really elevation. So you have two apertures, a smaller one for. Is it? I'm not sure about the distance about this one, but yeah, you have two apertures, a small one and a larger one. So it's really tight. If you're wondering why I'm having trouble putting it down, so it's really tight, yeah, and it's really crisp when it comes to trying to locking it down, right? Okay, so I'm not overly familiar with what yardage or what's the distance when it comes to these sites. I believe it's 300, maybe 300, no? But you won't get 300 meters out of an airsoft replica anyways. So yeah, moving forward, or going back, right? So that's the entire upper assembly, or yeah, upper assembly. So inside, bolt catch is steel. It's using that new V3 bolt catch and the knocker as well. So the hammer is steel, the full auto sear is steel, and even the sear is steel, or the disconnector is steel. The only thing that is spot metal inside, I believe, is the trigger. And again, why VFC? Why'd you leave out a really important component in the entire fire control group to be pot metal or maybe aluminum? While I haven't read reports that it goes bad after a few thousand rounds or a few hundred rounds, it would have been nice to have a better steel trigger, right? Especially in the Philippines, it's really difficult to import parts in. Anyways, that's it for the lower, right? So we have a fairly decent durability out of that, and later we'll do the test, right? And one thing that I found to be interesting and a bit annoying is I don't know if Adam would agree that this is annoying, but they have a fairly stiff buffer spring. So as you can see, it has a lot of coils and it's fairly stiff compared to other other vendors, and it has a very crisp feedback or recoil to it. The thing that I don't like about this is it has a spring loaded buffer, and it kind of makes the recoil feel funky. There's a bit of a bolt bounce when it comes to shooting the weapon. While it does function nicely, I would suggest that you go for a fixed buffer with one of those rubber tail ends. So that would remove that weird feeling that you'd have that it's actually bolt bounced. And I have a spare buffer. I'm planning to do another video which I'll upgrade this, because let's talk about performance of the M733. Give me a moment while I actually reassemble the replica. Okay, so again, it's dirty. I've been using it. Oops. Okay, so that's it for the externals and internals, right? The magazine as well. So let's see if this gun or this replica. Okay, so it's clear. It's clear. We have gas in the magazine. So we'll do a couple of shots, right? Or so we'll do a couple of shots here just to show you how good the recoil of this is, or of this replica is. Yeah. Out of all of my replicas, I would say that this has the best recoil or best feedback out of them all. I just don't like the bouncy feel of that buffer, but once you change that out, and I've already tried it before, it really goes away. Okay, so options for your magazine. So we already talked about the 30 rounder. Ta-da! So video edit magic. You also have options for your short magazine. So these are 20 rounder magazines. And what do I like about them? So other than that, they're 20 rounders. They are easy to pocket. They're easy to put in your kit. They're lighter than your 30 rounders, but that comes at the cost of less capacity as well. So you can't fit 30 rounds there, fortunately. Not sure how many BBs actually go in, but it's of a lesser amount. So actually that looks kind of cute, right? Small carbine, small magazine. I'd prefer to field 30 rounders, but I got these instead just for
Funsies.
yeah, just for funsies, right? I already have a lot of 30 round mags for my GHK, so just to try a new look. So this doesn't come out of the box, but you'd have to purchase them separately. Yeah, and yeah, it's a great mag. So this doesn't have the problem of leaking from the bottom because they're built. I think they're solid. At the bottom, there's no gasket at the bottom, right? Yeah, so no gasket there. The upper part seems to be the same with the 30 rounders. So they have the red what do you call this, lever for your bolt catch or bolt lock. I'm not sure if you can swap that out, but even the mag lip per se, I think you can swap it
The
out.
same.
Yeah, it looks the same. So no leaks, great quality. It's just not practical because you carry less rounds. And in terms of price, they're priced. These are slightly more expensive. These are slightly cheaper. So if you're not going for the looks, no, if you don't like the looks of the short mag, I would suggest just get the long mag and have more capacity, have more gas capacity as well. So round and gas capacity or ammo capacity rather than having the short ones and you have to refill them every skirmish. So yeah, that's it for the mags. Okay, so let's talk performance. So you've seen the recoil, and if you would ask me, if you use good BBs and you don't use bad BBs, no. Feeding is not much of an issue. It cycles great with green gas, even on lower powered gas. It would cycle great, even with that really not very heavy, but it's kind of heavy buffer spring. I'm not sure what the issue is, but as I've been reading online, there's been reports of the barrel here, or the inner barrel, is not really of good quality. So I may change that out to a tight bore barrel. And the hop rubber itself, I'm not sure if that's an issue, but I might change it out as well. And the hop chamber, maybe the hop chamber, you can swap it out with the maple leaf one and just throw the VFC system altogether. Another thing to note is it uses the older style of the VFC hop, right? The rotary one, rather than the guide hop wherein you have to adjust it from the front via the gas tube, or yeah. So yeah, let's talk about performance. So you've already seen that it does shoot well, and even if you take it out, it would feed well with good BBs. So yeah, but if you, of course, in GBBRs, if you do put bad quality BBs there, the misfeeds, the double feeds, no, would actually increase as well. Okay, so let's talk about accuracy, or let's talk about power first. So this actually clocks in at around 260 FPS. Okay, again, to put things into perspective, 260 FPS, a stock high kappa would shoot around 320, 330 FPS. It's low for this barrel length. It's low for a replica rifle, right? So I would expect that something at around 280, or sorry, not 280, but 380 or 350. Even 350 would be acceptable to me. But it's not even the low FPS that really bothers me. It's the low accuracy and low consistency of the BBs when I actually shoot it. So it would range anywhere from around 20 to 30 feet to 50 feet. So sometimes there's hop, sometimes there's a little, sometimes there's just the perfect amount, sometimes there's none. So I think, no, Adam, it's attributed to the barrel, sorry, not the barrel, but rather the hop unit and the hop arm that is directly contacting the hop rubber rather than having a tensioner in between, right?
Yeah, actually, there's a video of Explosive Enterprises talking about the same replica. Also, I think there is already a aftermarket replacement for the hop R if you just want to replace it. Uh, I think Gilliton Airsoft has already made one, but I'm not so sure. Or also, you can replace the entire hop.
Yeah. So I think Maple Leaf would fit.
Or yeah, Maple
Even
Leaf,
GHK.
even GHK, the version 2 ones would fit.
You can get a lot of retrofit hop chambers here, right? So there's no problem with replacing the hop unit. It's just talking. Well, yes, I believe we can tune it. We can tune it. We can replace stuff here, but getting it, picking it up out of the box and playing with it, is not a good experience, especially if you're a newbie to the hobby, right? But yeah, so the accuracy is really bad. I'm not sure if it's the barrel. I'm not sure if it's the hop up or it's the hop up arm. We'll do a separate video on trying to figure out what is wrong with this, so we can field it. But as I've said, I tried it. I tried to play with it last Saturday. So the Saturday or last weekend, right? I'm not sure when this video will release, but yeah. The fun thing about the VFC is or the M733 rather, is you can put a lot of accessories. If you can tell, that's sarcasm. Um, so you can purchase a rail mount. So this is what I ran last weekend. You can purchase a rail mount, and of course you can mount your optics there. So you have the Aimpoint Comp 2. It's a GNP Comp 2 or the M68. M68 Aimpoint there, no, and that's what how it would look like. Other accessories maybe that you could purchase is maybe a barrel mount flashlight, but I guess that's it. You can tape stuff to the to the front end. You can zip tie your accessories, but there's really no other mounting points other than a rail on top, or maybe you can get one of those Z rails. Do you remember that, right? The old school Z rails that would come from the carry handle going down to this front end.
Yeah, the
Those
gooseneck.
Z rails.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The very old school. I'm not sure if they're still making them, but if you can find one, maybe you could attach it right there. Yeah. I believe there's also one accessory by VFC. Ryan will post a picture here. The front, the eight, it looks like the eight. This pistol grip. There's a specific pistol grip for the VFC. We'll post a picture right here. You can also purchase that one, and you can mount it on the bottom. So you have a forward grip as well. But aside from that, I'm not sure if there's other accessories. The only thing that I would try to look for is the specific M733 or the ops something. I forgot. Again, we'll post the image here of that suppressor, which is mounted to the barrel. I'm the only company that I'm aware of that's making that replica is King Arms, and it's really obscure and it's hard to find. But yeah, you have that accessory for an M733 as well. So that's how I would run it. Maybe a suppressor, maybe I'll change the barrel, but I like the optic here. Again, if you do check um, how it was set up for Black Hawk Down, right? It's similar to this one. So you have a Comp M2, but it's not. Again, both the rifle itself and the optic was not period correct. I believe it should have been an XM177 plus a 8.3000 or something like that. Yeah.
Randy, I need a mag.
Yeah, Randy, I need a mag. I need a pistol mag. Yeah, great movie. Great movies. And yeah, it's a great replica overall externally. So let's conclude it, right? So again, it's a great replica externally. It looks good. It feels good. The externals, while you would wish that some things were steel for that feel, right? They're not, but it's acceptable. Again, for the price you pay, you could just order some stuff out from VFC, just replace it with steel. Um, the butt stock, yeah, that two position butt stock, which is really accurate, right? It's not the six position modern buffer tubes that you have, but again, it's a two position um, buffer tube, and yeah, it feel right. Let's do a full auto. The feel really is great, but yeah, you can't play airsoft with a great feeling replica. It should also be accurate. It should also have distance, but that's where it actually falters for my unit. So hopefully we can upgrade this next time. We'll show you guys what we'll do in order to fix that low FPS, in order to fix that barrel and hop up issue. So thank you guys for watching. That's it for us. No? Rev Airsoft PH signing out.
Peace.